Hello everyone and welcome to Beyond the Kingdoms. It's David here as always, and today I'm back with another top tips video. When booking a trip to Walt Disney World, it's really easy to get swept up in the excitement of planning what restaurants you'll dine at and what attractions you intend to use Fastpass Plus reservations to save yourself from waiting in long lines. But before you can run, you have to walk. And the most crucial first step in planning your trip is to pick a resort hotel. Walt Disney World currently features over 20 different resort hotels, and 3 more are on the way over the course of the next couple of years. There are a lot of decisions to make. Which one fits in your budget, and which one offers the best themed experience that matches your personality. Well, today I'm here with 8 solid tips to help you choose the best match when it comes to the resort hotels. So let's jump right in. My first 2 tips go hand in hand. They are the most crucial factors to consider when choosing a resort hotel. And tip number 1 is location, location, location. Many of you know that most of the hotels on Disney World property come at a premium price. And aside from the amenities offered at the hotels, the number 1 factor why Disney hotels are at the price they are is because of their close proximity to the parks. The first time I stayed at the Polynesian and saw Cinderella Castle while relaxing at the pool, I finally truly understood why people pay the premium price to be so close to the magic. It just makes life so much easier. But taking this location concept further, my tip is to consider what park is most important to you and which one you'll spend the most time at, and choose your hotel from there. For example, if you're taking your toddler for the very first time or a little one under the age of 3, chances are you'll be focusing a lot of time at Magic Kingdom. When you consider all the things you'll have to pack, like the stroller, the diaper bag, and more, staying on the monorail loop will definitely help your stay feel more accommodating. But I know that these deluxe hotels are not in everyone's budget. And that's when you can also consider places like Port Orleans. Of all the moderates, this is technically the closest to Magic Kingdom. And French Quarter in particular is a nice compact size resort. You won't have to push that stroller too far to get to the dining options and transportation. Maybe you're a couple or a group of adults focusing on the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. Staying at a nearby resort on Crescent Lake is certainly appropriate for more adult-focused groups, and it'll give you a great jump start in visiting those food booths around World Showcase. And again, if these are out of your budget, Caribbean Beach may be a good second choice to consider, especially since the upcoming Skyliner will provide good transportation to World Showcase. But more on that later. Tip number 2 should be used at the same time as my location tip, and that is to consider your budget. Of course, there's an easy and practical way of looking at this. If money is tight and you want to stick to a budget, first consider a value resort like Pop Century. And depending on how much money you've got ready to burn, you can consider the moderates and deluxes from there. But also think of the bigger picture. How many nights are you going to stay at Disney? 10 nights at the Polynesian will get very pricey, and maybe it's worth going down a step. If you have some more flexibility with your budget, but can't quite stretch to the commitment of a high-end deluxe for over a week, this is when I say consider a split stay. Depending on your exact itinerary, it may be worth starting at a moderate and moving up to a deluxe for the end of your trip. Also consider other expenses on your vacation. Perhaps you look at a hotel as merely a place to sleep at the end of the day, but you want to do a lot of character meals. You can book a moderate or value and opt for a higher-end dining plan option. This could mean more money is allocated to dining and other add-on experiences more than just the hotel. So remember the big picture. Somewhat sticking to this idea of looking at the bigger picture, tip number 3 is to really think about how much time you will actually spend at the resort. If you plan on spending most days rope dropping the parks and staying past closing time, a hotel really might just be a place to crash at the end of the day. Is it really worth staying at the Grand Floridian if you're not going to enjoy all the wonderful amenities the resort has to offer? In this, also think about if you'll give yourself a full pool day. In the summertime, when the temperatures get really hot, I find myself opting for a deluxe hotel with a great pool, like the Yacht and Beach Club. The parks can feel unbearable in that midday heat, so on summer trips, I either rope drop the park and go back to the hotel when high noon rolls around, or sleep in and enjoy a pool day before heading into the parks in the late afternoon. If I don't plan on taking advantage of the amenities of a deluxe, I opt for a value or moderate. Tip number 4 is all about transportation. In some ways, I really should have paired this with the location topic, because they too go hand in hand. If budget is not the concern and you're still stuck between choosing hotels, look at the transportation options. Some hotels offer all sorts of transportation links. A deluxe on Seven Seas Lagoon will offer buses, boats, and monorails to the parks, while others, like the All-Stars, will only provide bus transportation. But that doesn't mean all deluxes and all values are the same. Animal Kingdom Lodge, for example, only provides bus transportation, while Art of Animation and Pop Century will soon offer the Skyliner on top of the buses. Price level does not automatically equal the same transportation. Now, there are 2 reasons why I bring up transportation. First of all, time. When choosing a hotel, consider the travel time to the parks using Disney's transportation. Depending on what time you book dining reservations in the morning or your first Fastpass for the day, travel time will be important. The second reason I bring up transportation is for groups traveling with strollers, wheelchairs, and ECVs. Parents, you'll have to fold up strollers before you board the buses. And while you think that could be a pain, consider this. It still could be a better option than driving all the way to the Magic Kingdom, being stuck towards the back of the parking lot, folding up the stroller to get on the tram, and then transferring to a monorail or ferry boat. That bus will drop you off right at the front of the gate. Those of you with ECVs may also have to wait a little bit longer for a bus, especially if there are multiple guests in ECVs waiting to board. So whether you're driving to the parks, using a minivan, or relying on Disney's free transportation, always consider your options and how long it'll take you to travel from point A to point B. If all of this is still too overwhelming and you need some more help, it's also worth considering using a Disney authorized travel agent to help book your vacation with you. Believe it or not, I use a travel agent myself for some of my trips, Small World Vacations. And the reason why is because sometimes I don't have the time to do all the research and price comparisons. I know that I am a unique case because I go to Disney very often and I have a lot of trips to book all the time. But if you too don't have the time or patience to scroll through all the price points and want someone else to do the heavy lifting, a travel agent comes in handy. And the number one reason to use an agent is also because they will monitor promotions and discounts. Even after you've booked your trip, if a new promo is released by Disney and your stay falls within that criteria to get a discount, agents can adjust and apply the discount accordingly. So why not make things a little bit easier and let the pros do the research for you? If you're looking for a travel agent, I highly recommend using Small World Vacations. To visit them, simply click the link in the description down below or head over to their website at smallworldvacations.com. Just tell them that Beyond the Kingdom sent you. Tip number 6, and this one may come as a surprise, and that is to consider staying on Disney property but at one of the third-party hotels. I'm talking about hotels in the Disney Springs area, like the Holiday Inn Orlando, or Bonnet Creek, like the Hilton Orlando Bonnet Creek. Just like the Polynesian or the Contemporary and all the other hotels, these hotels now offer the same 60-day Fastpass Plus window and the ability to enjoy extra magic hours inside the parks. These third-party hotels could also be useful if you've already got a rewards account like Hilton Honors. You can use points you've accumulated towards your stay at Disney, bringing down that price down again. When I don't use a travel agent to help me book my stays, I also use Hotels.com. You can book both third-party hotels and official Disney hotels through this website. And after booking 10 nights with Hotels.com, you can get a free night. and that too can sometimes be put towards a future stay at Disney. Tip number 7, which I just briefly touched upon. If there's any winning reason to book a hotel on Disney property versus staying off property, it's the ability to book Fastpass Plus reservations 60 days before your trip and to add on special amenities like the Disney dining plan, which you can only get if you stay at a Disney hotel. In some cases, using the dining plan could save you some money. I've debated this a lot before and provided other videos on the topic. But if going to several character meals is on the agenda, getting the dining plan could be cost-effective. You may find that paying the extra to stay on property but get things like the dining plan could overall be a better deal than staying off property. And let's face it, if you're hoping to not wait in extremely long standby lines at popular attractions like Flight of Passage, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or Slinky Dog Dash, staying on property to book Fastpasses 60 days out may be the only way to ensure you can skip the line. When all else fails, these are the main selling points why I stay on property. And finally, we have tip number 8, which is the simplest of them all. Book early. The prices of the hotels will go up as the hotel fills up. You may find that looking at hotels 12 months ahead of your trip will be at a better rate than if you look at 6 months before your trip. The earlier you book, the more likely you are to get that good rate. And like I said before, if a promotion comes up after you've booked your hotel, you can sometimes apply the promo after. It all depends on the nitty-gritty details. So there you have it, friends, 8 top tips to consider when choosing a resort hotel at Walt Disney World. And this video has come right in time for the relaunch of a great new series here at Beyond the Kingdoms. This Sunday at 1 p.m., I will have the start of a new hotel-focused series, The Best Room at a Disney Hotel. In each installment, I will give you an overview of one specific resort hotel at Disney, and which rooms are the best ones to book within it. This week, we will start with the basics and look at a value hotel, Disney's All-Star Resort. So make sure you tune in. And if you're in the beginning phases of booking your trip to Disney World, check out my Tips and Strategies playlist here. I've got top tips for all the parks, the Disney dining plan, and so much more. But until next time, thanks for watching, and remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.